Thank you very much, Ari. Welcome to the panel, everyone. I have a special guest with me today. It's B-Cup's first time on the panel, alongside...
Oh, you meant him, all right, sorry.
Lacoste, what are you doing? My goodness, so rude. All right, so we have B-Cup, we have Kunka, and we also have Lacoste. Welcome, everyone. So we have OG versus Team Spirit. Team Spirit making a great run at the tournament, considering that they were a wildcard team, beating Pain Gaming in that matchup just now, and best of one yet again. Still scary.
It never gets any easier at this point. Even if they win this, they go up to face VGJ Thunder, which is the team that sent them down here. So it's do or die time.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like best of ones, anything can happen at any time, and all these lineups that come up seem very, you know, best of one oriented. Like, you need to play something that's going to make sure, like, comfort picks come out a lot in best of ones, and we'll see what comes out from OG and Team Spirit.
Yeah, Earth Spirit is going to be some real comfort for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta say, OG in the previous match actually looked like a team. They finally started playing as a unit, which is their strength. I guess Kezu performed really well, Mad as well, to shut down some haters on Reddit as well.
I think that was the biggest thing as well.
One thing I'm worried about is that Kezu did not have OG shirt. I'm not sure how that's going to influence their gameplay.
No, he didn't have a Jerax shirt is the problem. He needs that Jerax merch.
I think everyone needs the Jerax merch, right?
I
feel
use
jealous.
Some Jerax merch.
Yeah. Jerax, if you're hearing this right now, we're big fans, so would love some merchandise. All right, so let's talk about these teams right now. So we have Spirit versus OG now. Spirit, they have been working a lot around DK Phobos for the beginning of the tournament, but then they proved in their recent matchup just now that it's not all DK Phobos. The rest of the team is still working without him, and they're actually starting to adapt, it seems, to the meta where they're not so reliant on him. Lacoste, you're the brains of this panel. I want you to talk a little bit. Why are you shocked?
Can I be pretty?
Can
someone else be the brain, please?
Sorry, Lacoste, you're the brains. We have the brains, the beard, and the booster seat, so...
Oh, I feel sorry for you if I'm the brain.
Lead us, Bran. Lead us through this draft.
So the question was?
So the question was, thank you, Lacoste. The question was, Team Spirit, they are now starting to work not around DK Phobos, but now around as a team. Do you need to be worried about this now? Because a lot of the times you've been focusing so much on DK Phobos that the rest of the team can do whatever they want.
Well, he did not have the favorable matchup in the previous match. They were tri-laning, which is not very common these days. Usually you have either 2 on mid or 2 on an off lane and just 2 safe laners. So I think they should just try to win DK Phobos' lane, put him in a position where he can actually carry the game from the offlane.
I was surprised that they didn't go for a Brewmaster for him in that previous game, because we saw on day one, Phobos Brewmaster was just going off, like, regardless of the counter picks against him. But this time, OG have reference points. They know what the strengths are. And so far, while we've given praise to Biver and Phobos, Illidan and ILTW have been kind of staying under the radar for the most part. And it's possible that OG may start to exploit that lack of star power from the cores. It's always consistency from the cores, but when we move later on into the bracket of these tournaments, it takes more than just consistency.
Anything to add there, B-Cup?
Yeah, I mean, ILTW early in that last game, I mean, we were just casting it before, like, we saw that early, even without the Kai on the Storm Spirit, he was just trying to make aggressive plays and open up those lanes for DK Phobos, who didn't really perform well early on. So I feel like even when DK Phobos doesn't perform, as Team Spirit, they find a way to open it up for those cores or those heroes that aren't getting that farm that they need.
Looking at the draft so far, we have 4 bans on the screen. We have Tusk, Elder Titan, Sand and Tiny taken out of the pool. So a lot of initiators, a lot of early game harassers taken out. If you, a Spirit, do you possibly target OG's stand-ins? Because consider this, you normally have a roster of 5 players, but on the side of OG, they're playing with 2 stand-ins. 2 teammates that they probably don't play with every single day. Maybe they don't have the synergy 100% down. Would you target the stand-ins or the main roster?
I think both stand-ins are really versatile. Maybe Kezu not as much as Mad. So I think they should get rid of the Enigma. He's been playing Enigma a lot recently. You can't shut down Jerax, that's the problem. He can carry out the game from position 4 with pretty much any hero. We saw in the previous game as well with Elder Titan some crucial stomps.
Yeah, I keep waiting to see an Earth Spirit ban because Team Spirit get first pick, and I mean, Biver has a history of playing on the hero, and that last game alone inspires confidence in it. If you're going to target OG's cores, you don't do it in the drafting phase. You do it in the actual game, and heroes like Earth Spirit do a great job at that. And looks like OG are respecting Phobos' Brewmaster, and they ban it out.
All right, quick mention as well. Chen is not banned.
Yes.
Also-
I hope Team Spirit goes for it.
Also, they didn't ban the CK, which, I mean, that's been a first ban against Team Spirit every single time. I've seen him rip apart teams, especially recently. I saw him play a game where he out-farmed an Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage didn't have a Battle Fury yet, and CK, Illidan, he had himself a heart and an armlet already finished off. It was crazy, and I'm surprised it's not banned yet.
Jirax Elder Titan going to be secured by OG. The crowd is screaming for this as well. Everyone loves a good Jirax Earth Spirit game.
You know who's a good illusion team? OG.
Really? I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Well, they did
You
not
mean-
decide to go for a CK, but
Ooh.
there it is.
All right, there we go. So Earth Spirit and CK are going to be making making an appearance on the main stage during the first phase. Now, we haven't seen a lot of CK on the main stage, but there is a good reason behind this. Explain to us why is CK such a strong hero right now? The panel is dead.
Go, Kunkel.
It was his call. He was so happy about it. I want to hear where this confidence is coming from. Clearly, you had something behind it.
I mean, it's just previous performance. You see Illidan, he's always able to make his lanes work out. He's always being aggressive. It's the style that Team Spirit play, and that's the kind of hero that can be aggressive. You get a nice Chaos Bolt out there, Reality Rift with the minus armor early. Like, you can just make things happen with that Illidan CK, and Team Spirit's the kind of team that can always give Illidan that kind of farm to make something happen.
All right, so let me ask you something. Battle
Sure.
Fury?
Battle Fury CK. Maybe if Phantom Lancer stays in the pool, I think OG is going to go for it because it's a really good hero against the CK. Doesn't care about Reality Rift, and so we still might see it. I've seen a couple of times in pubs that people do it. Not the best build, but you can make it work actually. Tinker banned out by OG, which means that they don't want to play against him. Earth Spirit, Shadow Shaman do not provide that much of a vision.
Some heroes that are not banned out currently is the Razor. I believe the PL is not banned, and also
Omni.
the Omni Knight. Now, Omni Knight with the CK, would this actually be a consideration here for Team Spirit?
If you do that, then you're kind of showing Phobos' hand a little too early. And seeing as how OG has been specifically targeting Phobos with the Brewmaster, like obviously there are still options available for Phobos, but I think Spirit, after showing your first core this early on, you're better off saving Phobos until later on. And if an Omni Knight still proves to be useful, I could definitely see it coming out, but with Earth Spirit Silence, with Shadow Shaman Initiation, it's going to be risky.
Also, let's not forget Terrorblade is also in the pool.
Yeah, someone just told me that OG's a great illusion team.
Yeah, that's a good ban. Enigma with Midnight Pulse against CK Illusions, it deals tons of damage. That's why I mentioned that they should target Kez's hero pool. I think Phantom Lancer is a must for OG. Here already said why.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, OG going to be looking for their third hero. They've got both of their supports so far. What kind of a core, any comfort heroes that OG should be picking up right now?
You need heroes that deal specifically with CK. Heroes that either out 1v1 him, which there's a very small list of heroes that do that, or heroes that generate a lot of chaos, like Phantom Lancer, which Lacoste referred to.
Going for the control first, that puck. So the Dream Coil and the Silence will be very useful, and I believe they're going to need that early gank ability.
The early nukes from puck, nukes from puck at the early stages of the game. You can control CK illusions, but I think they're gonna need more. Puck can be mid, can be off lane. I'm not sure that Kezu plays something like Legion Commander. That seems like a good pickup here. I'm not sure if he plays it though.
Yeah, against the CK specifically, overwhelming odds would be incredibly valuable because right now you don't really have the best illusion clear. Like obviously Puck has pretty good magic damage, but CK illusions are so tanky that you will have to spend like 4 illusory orbs to take them down. And Nyx Assassin also starts causing problems for Puck. It's a classic counter pick.
Ooh, Terrorblade going to be picked up here by OG, and wow, quick pick for Team Spirit. It's going to be the Broodmother. Oh boy, we've seen this hero banned a lot during the tournament, but we finally see it beak up. I see a big smile on your face. What's going through your head right now?
Just DK Phobos Broodmother. I've seen it before, and it makes me smile. I get really excited for DK Phobos Broodmother.
How is OG going to be able to deal with this Broodmother? What are their solutions right now?
There are not enough heroes to deal with the
5
Broodmother
seconds remaining.
right now. Maybe if they want to sneak in a Tidehunter and put it in a lane against Broodmother, that can work. Legion Commander is not the best hero against it anymore because of the magical damage resistance from the Spiderlings.
Yeah, but at the same time, picking a Broodmother 9th pick is always extremely risky. I mean, even, well, not 9th pick, but like 2nd to last pick, whenever the enemy team still has options available. I definitely see that there's going to be a lot of movement in the laning phase. Phobos is going to have to get cozy somewhere. Against a Terrorblade in like what would probably end up being the situation. Terrorblade's okay. Poor Man's Shield has been eliminated, unfortunately, which that was usually...
Unfortunately?
I'm sorry.
Apologize now to the whole Dota community.
I deeply regret that statement. Thank God Poor Man's Shield was taken out. That piece of garbage item letting you take all of Broodmother's damage, all the Eidolon damage, doesn't matter because you all have damage block now.
Radiant
Irrelevant
team
now.
back.
Thing is that Broodmother still does a lot of magic damage, and Terrorblade is super squish. So if Broodmother's just more interested in nuking the Terrorblade as opposed to farming up a bunch of Spiderlings, then that makes sense because Shadow Shaman, if he levels Ether Shock early, he can burn through some Spiderlings. You did mention the increased magic resistance, which does negate some of that,
10
but
seconds remaining.
Okay, maybe DK is a good hero for OG. DK is one of the
5
heroes that can
seconds
stand in
remaining.
the lane against the Broodmother.
Waiting for this last pick for Team Spirit. Now, are there any heroes that are
Or
sticking
if
out for you?
Or if they
Beacon?
want to run Timbersaw as well. One of the heroes that can do, not necessarily too well, but also good against CK in the later stages of the game, and they don't have any burst.
I like Timber a lot, actually.
Any input here for B-Cup? Any heroes that you also feel could be a really good fit for either of these lineups?
No, I mean, I agree. I like Timber here.
Okay, waiting for this last man here for
It's
Team
more of
Spirit.
a no-tail special, though. You think Resolution can channel that while Mad will... Well, actually, I don't really know if I expect Mad on the Terrorblade. I'm seeing more of a Resolution because you saw Arteezy in the previous game. He's like, oh, you want to go Battle Fury on Terrorblade? That's my house.
I don't think it's going to become a new thing on Terrorblade, but
say
it's
that.
actually doable.
I mean, you got a bunch of Spiderlings to go through. You got to cleave through illusions.
First you need to farm that Battle Fury. It's not
Minor
in your
detail.
inventory at the
You
start.
make it sound as if like everyone starts with a Battle Fury. What are you talking about?
The way Resolution farms, it almost feels that way.
Quelling Blade is not Battle Fury. Calm down, Tsunami.
I don't know.
It's not the same thing.
That Monkey King in the previous game, after getting just destroyed in the lane, Resolution was like, it's no big deal. It's under control. And plus, he's got to show up Illidan now, right? Saw that post-game interview? There's a lot on the line here.
There is, well, technically the tournament lives are on the line, Tsunami.
It's
You
not
know, it's
about
not,
that.
it's not a laughing
It's
matter.
about,
You don't-
it's about honor. It's about pride in the CIS region. Who is the number one
Radiant
position?
team pick.
Okay, last ban going to be a spend for Team Spirit. They're worried about that cleave, and they go again for the DK Phobos Venomance. Actually, is this a mid Venom? Is it mid Brood offlane Venom? Which one is it?
I'm expecting
They're going to
mid
wait
Venom.
for it to see what they last pick, and then they're going to adjust the lanes. There's going to be a lot of vision for Team Spirit this
10
game. Venom
seconds
Wards,
remaining.
Broodmother, Nyx Assassin.
For OG,
5
they need to
seconds
look for their
remaining.
offlane here. Are they looking? Do they need more initiation, or
I
are they
think-
looking for some oomph here?
I think they need more counter initiation. I think that already mentioned the Tidehunter would be a great pickup here.
I swear, Lacoste, you love watermelons. You keep talking about watermelons. Tide hunters and watermelons.
Why?
You clearly do not eat your fruit. What do you eat in Croatia?
Choose your hero.
And it is going to be the Timbersaw here for OG, so got some good predictions going on. But panel-wise, I want to hear your thoughts. Whose draft do you prefer?
Who's drafted with the last pick, Timbersaw? I'll go for OG, even though every time I bet against Broodmother, seems like I lose the bet.
Yeah, but every time I bet on Broodmother, I lose the bet. So one of us are going to be wrong then. Because I think I'm going to go with OG as well. Because second to last pick Broodmother always stresses me out. And Venomancer is not necessarily a strong enough or independent enough core that it's not a concern
Yeah,
like we saw in the previous game.
The thing about the Broodmother is you hit that timing. I wonder what the build is going to be this game. Might be even Orchid game, good against Puck and
Battle Fury.
Battle Fury. She hits that peak, and once all tier 2 towers are down, you feel like you're stuck. You can just continue farming, but if you feed away 2 kills, it allows other team to get back into the game.
Tsunami, I think we need to stop with the battle for ECKs. I don't
I
actually...
need to stop. Everyone else
I-
needs to stop. All those people
creeps has how high he is on that horse. Speak up, prediction.
I'm trusting Illidan on the CK, so I'm going to be the one guy here to go for Team Spirit.
So 2 Spirit, 1 OG. Well, one Spirit, 2 OG. Apparently I can't math. We're going to throw it over to the casters right now. Take it away for this best of 1 series. It's going to be a close one.
Thank you so much, Danny. Basskip, we're here. It is the lower bracket, another elimination match. It's happening all today. How are you feeling about this, OG versus Team Spirit?
I think this is going to be a close one, and I think I actually really they've got the Broodmother. I think this is an amazing Nyx Assassin game as well in terms of dealing with the Timber, dealing with the puck. I'm actually really looking forward to watching Team Spirit play, and I think they might have this one. I also back the DK Phobos Broodmother. I think if he picks up an Orchid this game, he can pretty much solo kill anybody on the OG side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the scariest things to see in a best-of-1 elimination match is a Broodmother coming up at any stage, because it's just one of those heroes that so completely changes the way you have to play Dota.
Yeah, and Team Spirit, this Venomancer, the be helpful, but I think the more annoying thing is going to be the constant scouting, the blink dagger canceling on the puck. It just makes life kind of difficult for OG. And even just the defensive plays with the plague wards is going to make it difficult for them to turn up to a tower and put the mass serpent wards down, or establish themselves with the Terrorblade, with the metamorphosis to really chunk down those tier 1s. So yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of Team Spirit's lineup.
The battle
All right,
begins.
well, we're moving in now. Resolution going to be able to secure himself a rune. It looks like they're trying to dodge away from that Broodmother lane, as DK Phobos is going to be inhabiting the top lane against the puck. How does that matchup work out? Is that just terrible for KheZu?
The puck, at the very least, shouldn't die, but it depends totally on what the Broodmother player wants to do, whether or not Brood wants to put on pressure. At the very least, puck has phase shift to be able to deal with the non-stop spam of the spawn spiderlings. So in terms of heroes that deal with Brood reasonably well, I think puck actually matches up all right.
Well, nice little trick there in the mid lane. They let the creeps go all the way through, so one of them gets taken out early on, and this wave should push over onto the Team Spirit side.
But at the same time, the Timber matches up even better, and they're just going to swap the lanes immediately. So there you go.
Yeah, dream matchup right there. Of course, you have to be careful about lane swaps as it goes further on. Metamorphosis used there in the mid. There's going to be an Impale down bottom. Doesn't quite connect onto KheZu, and it looks like already early on with all these creeps there, Resolution's going to be putting the hurt here on this CK. You usually don't see Terrorblade versus Chaos Knight in the mid matchup.
No, it's definitely unusual. And they've even got Fly in here just with the non-stop harassment, even helping out a little bit with the denying. So yeah, definitely getting Resolution off to a good start. And he's been, I think that's been the focus for OG for the most part this tournament, other than that previous game that they just played against TNC, where they did kind of make KheZu the big playmaker, and he was the one that was going to win them the game eventually on the Enigma. But Team Spirit did get rid of that option this game. And so it looks like most of it's going to be falling to the Resolution TB.
And that's something to sort of think about too, is like they don't have that big controlling force in the same way that they have a black hole. But to you, is it only Resolution pretty much the main hero we need to be watching how well he does in this game? Or is there any other pivotal hero for either team?
I mean, the Timbersaw, of course, as well, with being the last pick for OG, they're putting a lot of stock in it. This is a game where the Timber can do quite well, bursting down the CK illusions. Holding off the lane against the Broodmother is also going to be a really important aspect. So the Timbersaw, I think, is going to do well. Whether or not Mad can go completely out of control, I'm not sure. And even if the Timbersaw has an amazing game, it's always going to fall to the Terrorblade to be the building damage, right? He's the only one who's really doing physical damage on the team. And so if Resolution falls a little bit behind, that's where the big problem for OG could actually become taking the buildings. And they don't have to end the game early, but they definitely need Resolution to be having a good game. And I think that's the reason that he's mid right now, as opposed to in one of the side lanes.
Sounds good. Works for me. 2-minute runes gonna keep popping up now. There is a regen down bottom, which might be battling it out as mid lane. A lot of damage coming out into Resolution. Needing to run away, but with the Maledict there, he might just end up going down. Does have a salve, but not enough to keep him alive. First blood by FNG.
I think this is exactly why Team Spirit loved the Witch Doctor. It has a lot of kill potential, does a bunch of damage in the early stages of the game, and is just in general such a strong laning hero. There are not that many position 5s in the game that can actually come and make that rotation, though the CK of course does help out a lot, bringing a lot of damage with the Reality Rift and the Chaos Bolt early on.
The other thing we should talk about down here bottom, this Nyx Assassin has been doing a great job of zoning out this puck. You look at the CS and only 2-0, only level 2 as well for himself. It's been a rough game so far for that puck.
Yeah, they've definitely deprioritized Keizu this game. He's going to try and get what he can out of the lane, but even once he gets farmed, the Nyx Assassin is just insanely annoying to play against. And he's probably not going to be farmed enough to like pick up a Blink Yules in a reasonable time. So this Orchid that the Broodmother already has queued up is going to be really difficult for him to deal with.
Yeah, probably for Matt as well, as obviously Timbersaw hates being silenced. But we'll see if they itemize to deal with that.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit tankier. He might get a Lotus or a Yules this game to help deal with it. But that's only going to come a little bit later on.
Well, Impale is there. Keizu just going to take these right clicks, and this is what I'm talking about. You get that extra little bit of movement speed, you run this guy down. Keizu's not having a good time in this lane at all. As mid lane, they find resolution. Good Shackles, able to turn this. Now they're rolling as well. They kick Illidan back, gonna find that one, as it looks like he is maybe gonna drop. Uphill misses. They're able to turn it. Jarek's in trouble now as well. He ends up falling and turn. Team Spirit making it happen.
Fiverr's having a ridiculous day so far. The Earth Spirit game just before, now on this Nyx Assassin, he's putting in so much work. There were some uphill misses involved there, as you mentioned, but what a turnaround, and Illidan with the salve, able to go straight back to farming on the mid lane. That was a really big commitment for OG, and it just blew up in their face.
Well, and again, these best of ones, any momentum that you can build is just so pivotal going into the later stages. But 4 minutes in, it's only 1,000 gold lead, and looks like Mad still having a good time against this Broodmother top at the very least.
Yeah, and Spirit, they're so good at playing this aggressive kind of run-at-you style. All three of their cores are finding okay farm in the early stages. The Timbersaw is way out in front in terms of CS, but I mean, even the Venomancer is actually nipping at his heels.
Oh, Jarex, they're going to be able to stun, and that should be a dead Earth Spirit in the jungle. Enemy has vision is the call, and in fact, there is a ward that's about to expire right there.
Yeah, Jarex he's really good with the calls on the wards, but unfortunately this one's a little bit late, and was just because he got picked off. Fly, does he finally have some boots? I was about to point out that the poor Shadow Shaman 5 minutes in didn't have any boots, but he does finally have them picked up now, so maybe a little bit more rotation potential, but we're yet to see these OG ganks stick at all.
Yeah, and you were talking about the effectiveness of that Nyx Assassin. That's been mainly just a heavy rotational hero, only level 2 right now, and he's still getting this much done, and they're forcing resolution to the jungle.
The really nice thing that they have for the Nyx Assassin in this game as well is that they have 2 different heroes that can go and take the jungle and give the Nyx Assassin a lane. So that either the Venomancer or the Broodmother can do that, and that's going to get the Nyx Assassin caught right back up. And they'll be able to pay him back for all the work that he's been doing in the early game. Even if he does fall behind, it's not a huge deal.
Well, Keizu is up here, down bottom, and we'll see if they end up being able to bait something out. There is also Jarex nearby, so if they did try and make some type of a heavy dive for Keizu, it'd probably be punished. In fact, Nyx Assassin gonna spot him out, battling for the rune. They get the kick away. Jarex realizes he doesn't want to be here anymore, and will retreat.
Yeah, but he's just kind of playing separately for the rest of his team at the moment. At least the support duo is playing separately for OG. Not really trying to make any rotations happen. They're just letting the 1v1 lanes continue to play out. And that continues to play out in Team Spirit's favor. We do have a little bit of building damage being traded, but DK Phobos is actually cutting the wave up top, not wanting to lane against the Timber directly.
4 heroes moving in right now. They're wrapping all the way around. Silence onto one, roll in off the mark. They have a Spike Carapace off to the other side, and ILTW in some trouble. He's going to drop the ward to block him off, and now he gets off a Gale as well. He's actually walking away from all these heroes. Is he really just going to be able to saunter his way out of there? The chase is continuing. They're rolling forward. ILTW dealing a good bit of damage. Another ward block there, but I think that finally, maybe it's TP.
There's no stun. There's no focus back. There's nothing left.
ILTW! That was insane.
What a juke! I mean, come on, the Tango his way in, get the 3-man Gale, keep planting the Plague Wards behind you the whole time. I thought he was 100% dead. I clicked on him, saw no TP scroll in his inventory. He had to bring it out of the backpack, and he still managed to make that play. Oh, that was so nice.
And that's another one of those things where you're building this momentum. 3,000 gold lead at 7 minutes into this game. And OG, what's their response here? Maybe a roll-in onto Illidan as they do find him mid, but Witch Doctor is here as well. And with that little hand-holding, he's going to be safe to walk away.
I mean, Illidan didn't have to be worried at all. There's no damage between these 3 heroes on the OG side. There's two level 4s and a level 2. This is a very rare miss on the Jerax Earth Spirit. I don't even know if it's necessarily his fault. The Spirit supports have just been there to turn around any attempts that he's gone for. And they don't necessarily have the strongest cores to gank for either. You know, the Timbersaw needs a bunch of levels to bring up his burst. The Puck was not doing well, and Terrorblade, you know, has damage, but they need to bring more CC in beyond just the Earth Spirit.
Yeah. Well, and meanwhile, Shackles are holding Viber in place. He's going to get punched a couple of times, but with FNG moving in, they might decide to turn now on to Fly. Impale is ready to fly as well, as they don't quite hit it there, but the reality rep, they have got enough damage here to kill off that Shadow Shaman. And the snowball continues for Team Spirit.
It's only 4 kills, but it's a 4K net worth lead 8 minutes in. They've just been farming so well across the board, and the only bright spot at the moment for OG is the Timbersaw, who isn't really ready to move. I mean, he's still just sitting up here trading farm with DK Phobos. I guess we have to wait and see when Mad is finally going to get involved. But as soon as he leaves this lane, his tier 1 is dead. So that's the kind of what he's holding back at the moment.
Well, and he really is the only one having a good time. KheZu going to be pulled in here. We'll be able to walk away after the fact. But you take a look at the level disparity. Terrorblade level 5, Puck level 5. The Venomancer and CK are 8 and 7. They have such a huge net worth and experience advantage. The catch here, though, on Viber could be good as they're trying to kick him back under, but maybe the turnaround. KheZu goes out the silence, still living for the moment. They're doing a good bit of damage with the rotation in for Matt. They're going to be able to find that kill, maybe taking down another. If they could burn down Ill, he's just going to TP away again, though. No way to interrupt it, and Spirit get out.
Not enough stuns, no Dream Coil yet. FNG also with the TP out. Gets the well-played chat wheel going as well. Oh, and that's the Mad rotation not really changing very much. And like I said, immediately DK Phobo is just going to take this tier 1 tower.
Oh, that hurts so badly. You only find 1 kill in the midst of all of that. Lose your tier 1 tower, like you said. And now bottom lane Resolution is being chased as well. They've got the Gale on him. Poison Nova is there. And, well, Sunder's pretty nice. They are getting maybe a little bit concerned, so they will back out and just try and get out of it. And that's the other thing that's scary. ILTW maybe can end up going down here as well. Spike Carapace trying to turn this around onto Mad, and underneath the cover of the tower, they won't be able to dive that.
Yeah, that was a really nice Spike Carapace, just to buy a little bit more space. DK Phobos going to get his Orchid delivered in a couple of seconds, and at that point, I don't know who's going to be able to come and contest this top lane. I mean, the Timber is unlikely to die solo to the Broodmother, but every other hero is just complete food. And they're diving the tier 3. They've got Jerax dragged back.
Stuck back there, tier 3 tower. He is going to be able to walk away from that, but with that smoke king, I mean, they're all here. Mad, he's going to try and chase this down. The
Orchid on the puck.
Silence, though. The Orchid is there. He's going to end up falling. They take down the puck, and Mad can't do anything. He might just get turned around upon, lowering that armor, trying to find a kill. Mad does burn through the illusions, but there's the Impale onto 2 as well. They're trying to run away from this one. Another Spike Carapace, but I think they will eventually find themselves a return kill in that Nyx.
Yeah, looks like Phobos just not interested in coming over to get involved with that fight. He did have a couple of web charges and some web laid down over here, but just deciding to cut his losses, and did get a lot more damage on the tier 2. That tier 2 is probably not long for life. The Venomancer is doing the exact same thing on the other side of the map. Team Spirit applying so much pressure with their Tricore.
And this is the scary part too. It's just that stranglehold that feels like it's getting tighter and tighter on OG's map presence. They're pushed back in, and every time 1 or 2 of them comes to a lane, the other side's pushing in. They just need to get up some type of level experience or something. As Mad, there's the Orchid. They got eyes on him, slowed up for the moment. The Cask is gonna connect. They have the Maledict as well. The Impale comes through. He's taking a lot of damage from this. Also getting a lot of regen though. So he will be able to live. And the Timbersaw, again, a silver lining.
Yeah, he still had his hood available as well, but the problem is that Timbersaw, to really do his damage, needs the lockdown heroes on his team to actually be able to come and move into the fights, and that's really not happening at the moment. No Blink Dagger on the Puck. The 2 supports are still quite low level and quite squishy, and without that, it feels like Mad is either just going to get TP'd away from, or they're just going to run away from him back to the safety of their team. This time around, they're going to bring 4 heroes to bear. They really want this kill on Mad.
Well, this is great if Mad can get away from this one, and it looks like he will be able to. A lot of attention given to that lane, and now OG able to drop wards bottom and attempt to take the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it looks like they might actually be able to get it. Spirit, not very many TPs available, still just chasing Mad around in circles. They will find the trade, as they will probably grab this tier 2 in the end, and then maybe swing over towards mid to get some more damage down there. Illidan's actually just running for more kills. Gets onto Jerax.
And just like that, it happens. Only takes a second.
The way that he's moving on the CK is so nice. He knows that his other 2 cores can take the buildings just fine, so he's free to just run around finding kills.
Gale is out, they got the stun, they got the Orchid, they got the Impale, they got everything. Mad trying to stay alive through this. The Maledict is gonna do a good amount, he's gonna decide to TP back home, which should keep him alive. And meanwhile, they pull back in yet another phase shift. No avail there at all as Fly is getting ran down. The Captain, nowhere left to run either. A double kill for Illidan. It's 13 minutes and they're taking the tier 3 tower damn near.
And again, it has to be the Timbersaw to defend, but the Plague Wards are getting dropped down. There's plenty of Spiderlings. I think Spirit will end up backing out. They're a little bit low on a couple of their heroes, and no Voodoo Restoration just yet to sustain.
Although Mad gets turned around upon a 3-second stun here as well. They're dealing a good amount of damage. They interrupt it now. Still starting to fall. He does find 1 kill in turn. Can Mad get away from this? It's so much damage, and they will eventually take him down. But he killed off the CK at least.
Yeah, but the Terrorblade, meanwhile, does take out a tier 2 tower at bottom. Resolution using the space very effectively, and I guess this is just what OG have to do. They have to leverage the Timbersaw as much as they possibly can just to make space to bring the other cores back into the game. Resolution's still behind.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, you've got Treads right now and Aquila on this Terrorblade.
No Battle Fury in sight.
No Battle Fury in sight, absolutely. Needing a little bit more of an active build. Well, we're 14 minutes in. It's 7,000 net worth lead. How are you feeling like the game is right now for OG? Is it insurmountable? Do you feel like there's still things that they can cling on to?
I think for now, they're still in a position where they can win. They still have tier 2s up on both mid and bottom. The Timbersaw spam is starting to ramp up in terms of keeping Team Spirit outside of the base. And they have opened up the bottom side of the map a lot for TB to be able to farm down there and continue applying pressure. So I think they can actually still bring this back. Oh, 4 seconds done on Mad.
No, that was one too many chains. And just like that, the whole team has to come back to try and defend the push.
Yeah, and bottom lane isn't really in a threatening position either. Resolution's actually farming back on their side of the map, so they're not going to be able to drag them away from this top lane just by split pushing. Though maybe the spam is enough between the Puck and the Shaman. Fly might have to put himself in harm's way just to hold on to this.
Yeah, scary stuff. They have the wards if they need to drop it also, but Spirit smelling blood, wanting to try and keep the pressure on right here. They're doing a good bit of damage like you were saying, and this right now, if you're OG, you need to be so careful about that reality rift pointing you out of position.
All right, Serpent Ward's getting dropped down. They do only have 10 seconds to go on the Timbersaw respawn, so it looks like Team Spirit once again going to be denied this this tier 3 tower. They really just want that so they can go and take the shrines, probably go and take the tier 2s a little bit later on. They might even set their sights on the tier 2s instead. And OG completely trapped inside of their base. They're going to try and smoke their way out of this one, though.
Well, and this was what they just did earlier. So going through 2 smokes very consecutively back to back. They're trying to bait out Mad here in the top lane. DK Phobos is going to move in. Biver is there as well. And well, the Orchid comes out there, deciding to hit the Spiderlings. Where's the rest of his team? They're going to fully commit for this one now. They managed to drop the Dream Coil. Mad trying to turn this now. The roll-in as well. It's pretty decent, but the rest of OG, they're just not tanky enough. They might be able to bring down ILTW. He's going to force that away, trying to TP out. He manages to get away. Oh, disaster strikes in the top lane as OG are going to lose 5 and not take 1 kill.
They annihilated the Terrorblade in that fight. Just Resolution not nearly tanky enough to do anything. He even had a 17 charge wand and the Sunder, but just got chain stunned from full to nothing. And without that damage coming in, it feels like they're even just ignoring the Timbersaw, right? They threw a little bit of damage onto him at the beginning of the fight, but you look at in the replay here, with the rest of Team Spirit coming in from behind, they land a 2-man Gale, and then the entire backline of OG just gets annihilated.
Well, Team Spirit recognizing the moment and striking while the iron is hot. Can they get out of here okay? I think the answer is yes. They're just too freaking tanky right now. OG don't have an answer at all.
their heroes are all so strong with like their first item. You know, the Venomancer even just picking up like a Force Staff for the Hood, the Armlet on the CK, and the Orchid on the Broodmother. Plus they just had such good lanes. This Broodmother pick has been, I think, masterful for Team Spirit. Like they banned out the Brew, they tried to put pressure on DK Phobos, and Team Spirit just found another hero that he can completely take over the game on.
Well, Ivor now finding Keizu in the woods. There's not really any other heroes from Team Spirit around that can help out with this, so they're going to decide to back out. But yeah, DK Phobos has felt like at times the man of the tournament is poor old Fly is just going to drop. Definitely making his impact felt here as he's going next for another item out on the courier. That's going to be the BKB. They're not messing around. They just want to end this.
Yeah, all right, so this is probably the most impactful item that OG were waiting for. The Blink Dagger on the puck now picked up, but it feels like they're still, at this point, they're just so far behind that I don't know if it's really going to matter. Team Spirit is starting to tank up even more. The CK even picking up a Solar Crest here just so that they can secure the Roshan and look to close out the game. Team Spirit not messing around. They've got revenge against VGJ Thunder, you know, in their sights.
Definitely. And I mean, you know, you talk about that Blink Dagger on puck, but what do you do when DK Phobos pops BKB and runs at you? Like, you have to try and kite that hero, but it's just not happening. Bottom lane at the very least, we do see that Resolution is starting to push out this wave and trying to put his team in a position where they can force Team Spirit to back.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Team Spirit didn't TP anybody back here, but they are just going to send the Witch Doctor, and they've popped the Phantasm on the mid lane.
All right. Illidan is there, hiding in the trees. Well, with only 3 heroes here, this could be a little bit scary for Team Spirit if OG are able to recognize that they haven't sent that many heroes back.
Yeah, the Chakram cleaning things up nicely. Resolution has to find a nice spot in the trees to TP out, but Vivor's on his tail.
Yeah.
Might be able to find him.
Oh, he just barely gets out of there, and now maybe they can take the fight on OG. They're trying to roll forward and see if they can run into anybody with a pullback in. A lot of damage. Jarek's 4-second stun. He's not going to be able to get away from this one. Resolution wants to take this fight. They want to try and make it happen, but he's just getting ran at by the Broodmother, and they're going to turn their sights now onto Mad, who does manage to jump away. The Reality Rift pulling him back in. Is this too much to fight, though? Mad is still a monster, and looking for the chase. He is going to be able to hit there, but now the Gale and now the rest of Team Spirit has shown up, and the captain, he is starting to fall rather rapidly. Jump forward, Keizu trying to turn it. The armlet toggles, though. It comes out from Illidan, and they force out the deny. Again, trying to run. Team Spirit making it look easy.
They are kiting the Timbersaw to no end. Like, it does take pretty much their entire lineup to kill him, but DK Phobos is doing such a good job. He's staying in between the Timber and the rest of his team, preventing anyone else from really coming in to help. And then Team Spirit are just running circles around Mad, you know, like we saw with the armlet toggles. And they don't even have that many disables. It's just that Timbersaw needs some stuns to set him up, and his stuns can't get into the fight.
And looking at any answer right now, it's going to be a high ground push yet again. Reality Rift, they got him caught. That's a lot of damage. Maledict down as well. The BKB is popped for the Broodmother, starting to take down Mad, and is just going to drop. No buyback at all.
Illidan's not
going to
even
be able to
dead.
armlet toggle. He's fine.
Oh,
Team
no.
Spirit taking this one.
Illidan making a statement here. Well, I made a statement in the in the interview, but OG gonna lose potentially their second lane of racks just past the 20-minute mark. They don't have any other pressure elsewhere on the map. The Plague Wards are going to work, and they don't have any way to clear those whatsoever. Yeah, this is probably just 2 lanes. I mean, they've got a Glyph for a second. There is a Dream Coil off cooldown, but what does that matter?
And I mean, Team Spirit maybe coming in as an underdog. Not a lot of people were expecting a ton from them, but showing that they came to play and now going to run forward. They find themselves the Timbersaw yet again. 3-second stun. This one's almost damn near a solo as a mega kill streak comes out for Illidan. The cask is bouncing. This game is looking over. They don't have an answer in the world at all. Keizu trying to run away. Another 2-second stun. They do manage to find the silence, but they will eventually find the kill. Triple there for the CK, and they're hitting tier 4s.
Oh man, these heroes are so annoying, and Team Spirit play them so well as well. We saw it in the previous game. We've been seeing it all tournament long. I think this is just a really bad style matchup almost for OG. They haven't been able to, with this roster, deal with the aggression from Spirit, really exploiting maybe some of the weaknesses in communication on the OG side. and also exploiting Kezu's like hero pool a little bit as well, I think. Just forcing him onto maybe something that he's not 100% comfortable on.
Well, the Bloodthorn Spider is getting in a position where ready to finish this one off. They can walk forward with the BKB, pull back in Mad, looking for that hit. They're going to be able to find it. A good Dream Glow from Kezu. It's about as good of a fight as you can hope for, but the problem is the fight was always going to be rough. The damage is there. Mad is going to be pushed back. LTW doing a ton to him as well. They did end up burning through the CK, but that was only the Aegis. And finally being able to take down the Witch Doctor, I think that's going to be the last casualty as Team Spirit are going to take down OG and move on against BGJ.
Just so well played, so well drafted for Team Spirit. I think, what else can you say? OG, they scrambled to try and recover the lanes. They picked the Timbersaw at the very end. It went even against the Broodmother initially, and then as the instant that Mad had to go and leave to try and put out fires elsewhere, the Broodmother just completely took over the game. DK Phobos with his Orchid was unstoppable. They snap-picked the Brood, and they knew at that point, I think, that DK Phobos was just going to win them the game.
I mean, it's a classic hero for DK Phobos, showing that, you know, it's not always an instant win, but when you manage to make it happen, it's going to happen. And really impressive showing from there. 25-4, it ended up being a 27,000 net worth lead in the end. Basskip, thinking forward to the next one, what do you end up thinking? Do you feel like the next series is going to be is contested? Do you think that VGJ Thunder have a chance here?
I think Team Spirit have a lot of momentum, actually. VGJ Thunder may be, in terms of style, a little bit better of a matchup for Team Spirit than OG. I think they can hold on to the early game a little bit better. They've been looking quite good all the way through the upper bracket, and I think they can hold on, but have to, you know, Team Spirit with the momentum is going to be really scary.
All right, well, let's head back to the panel, see what they thought about that very quick lower bracket game.
Thank you, Basskip. Thank you, Lyrical. We are going to be jumping into the lower bracket finals in a moment, but, well, I know someone's happy on the panel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was the only one to call Team Spirit, you know. The other two panelists, they were like, oh, no, OG have this. I was like, I got my faith in my CK Illidan, my Broodmother DK Phobos, and looks like I was correct. I'm 1 for 1 on panels, and I'm announcing my panel retirement right now. I don't want to ever be wrong.
You're going to be the only one with 100%, right?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Hey, but stats don't lie, right?
Apparently.
Exactly. But wow, I think now this justifies the CK ban, the Broodmother ban on the side of Team Spirit. You cannot give those heroes away. And they showed us how strong they were. I gotta say, Illidan getting super lucky with all those 4-second stuns on the CK.
I don't think it mattered. The DK Phobos played really well. He was cutting the waves. He did not want to be in the front line, just facing a Timbersaw. So he was just in the back line, had 10-minute Orchid, which is pretty insane. I already mentioned before the game that Orchid is going to be the item for this game. I was surprised that Mad didn't go for Lotus Orb, but he had components for it. If he disassembled Mana Boots and had Perseverance, so he can actually remove the silence and be that frontliner that they needed. The thing is, they lost all of their towers early on, and they had too much vision, so Jarex and Fly could not find any openings. Also, Kezu was shut down so hard. I don't think that should happen. Didn't really feel the influence at all.
Speak up.
I mean, it felt like Team Spirit played the way they always do when they win. They play aggressive, they play in your face, they make sure you don't find anything. We actually talked about it after the draft. We thought maybe this is a really good Terrorblade game, and they shut him down. They made sure he wasn't able to make anything happen.
Well, they effectively shut down both of the cores, right?
Yeah.
Kezu and Mad. Like, Mad couldn't be everywhere around the map. And if you're forcing one hero to try and cover every single lane, you know something is already wrong. So do you think maybe OG, they were saying, okay, guys, let's hold the fort down, let's drag the game, let's hope Resolution gets that farm? Was that their original game plan?
I think the game plan was just to cut those towers down, continue the pressure. Roche opens up, they can't contest it. Also, you have a lot of things that you can focus. They have nothing to clear the illusions besides Timbersaw, but he can be everywhere. Also, you have Venom Wards, you have all those Spiderlings, which deal a lot of damage in fights. You don't actually see it, but it's really significant. Also, I love the build on Illidan's strength. He went for Crimson, for Solar Crest, sorry. He wanted to cut through Timbersaw's armor before he gets those stacks up. And also, it's really good against Terrorblade. It mitigates a lot of damage from the reflection.
Any final words, Speak Up?
I mean, I told you so. That's all I got. That's my final words. I told, and you want to know what? Tsunami was so hurt by the fact that he was wrong and I was right that he just didn't even show up either. You know, I was so. I gotta take in this moment. I'm sorry.
It's all right, no problem. So the next matchup is going to be Spirit versus VGJ. Now, I know that's going to be very exciting. Both of these teams play hyper aggressive. We saw VGJ playing in that second game versus EG. I feel like that was VGJ at maximum capacity. They played extremely well. Do we think Team Spirit can take on VGJ at 100%?
VGJ on a good day, I think they can pair up with any tier 1 team in the world, to be honest. But if they don't play correctly, sometimes they see like a tier 2 and a half team. Like the I think the team is still young, so the decision making coming from them is still not that good. They have an experienced coach, ROTK, but he can't be with them. I mean, he can only be during the draft, but after the draft, they need a shot caller.
So knowing that there is this strength in VGJ, are we looking at any heroes that we should be banning? By the way, for people at home, DK Phobos getting MVP again. So his score, not flawless, but most of his games, almost all except for one, he got MVP.
VGJ Storm is a really versatile team. They can pretty much play anything. So I really don't think you can ban them out, but you need to strategize more around certain heroes. Team Spirit has a momentum right now, and it always feels better when you actually play. You won a game, and you continue to play from the same booth as well. So that's good for them.
B-Cup, I know you're a big supporter of Team Spirit. You know, what are the strengths that Spirit need to carry over into this lower bracket final match?
I mean, against VGJ Thunder, you know, they play the same kind of game plan. They're aggressive. They'll run at you. I maybe expect VGJ Thunder to pick up a Tusk Ancient Apparition support combo where they can be aggressive with that. I think Team Spirit, they got to maybe fall back to a couple of comfort picks, be aggressive, and coming off momentum like this, having an amazing game over OG, I think they can maybe bring that momentum over into their game against VGJ Thunder.
So key bans where I guess we're not going to see CK and Broodmother anymore for Spirit?
Well, maybe Broodmother, yes. They managed to sneak it in. Illidan's strength is, I'll call it the dark horse, not because he's playing a CK. He's either hit or miss. I would call him BSJ of CIS scene. He has sometimes really weird decisions, but in this tournament so far, he's been performing really well.
B-Cup?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I have to add to that. I feel like you say everything so perfectly well that I can't add on.
Do you think we should throw it to the main stage for the interview?
Go.
There we go. Ari Neiman, take it away.
We are here with the winners, Team Spirit. Illidan, I'm back with you, bro. Taking OG so convincingly, quite a win you guys had. Was it the Chaos Knight Broodmother when you guys had that? How did you guys feel when you got those two heroes?
When we got Brood, I felt like this game is unwinnable with them.
Unwinnable.
Yeah, I guess we can play 10 games like this again and they will lose all. Like these drafts, they will lose all.
So definitely for you guys, it was an outdraft.
Yeah, like no doubts, it wasn't some. We played decent, right? We played good. We did some good moves. Like our Veno created so much space bottom, and we were destroying mid lane, dual lane. But it felt like more outdraft. I don't see for them openings to win this game. Like not a single.
Very nice, very well performed. I'm not going to keep you guys for much longer because you have to prepare for your next match. I just want to say one last thing. You called out your son, Rezo. You said you were going to take him to school and your match, and he hasn't won any pub against you. You backed up your smack talk, and you took him to school. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'm very surprised they give us Chaos Knight. Like, he knows, like no one else, that we are very strong with this hero. I have no idea what they wanted to do when they give it to us.
Any brotherly, any friendly message to your good buddy, Roman, Rezo?
I mean, just you know, just a game. Well, best of one, it's not Dota or also. Like, you can lose one draft and you're losing to a team which can be even worse than you. That's it.
All right, some smack talk ending with love. Very nicely done. Buddies after all, very, very good. Elidan, congratulations on the big win. Good luck on your next match. Team Spirit move on to face VGJ.